Islam, 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 y'all. I am here ready to do my Friday Holy Koran share. And we all know that it is Friday, and Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. And what I'm going to be doing is sharing with you all some of the chapters out of our holy book. Look how thin that is, y'all. How thin that is. Yes, of our Holy Koran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Islam. And then we also have the Holy Koran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. This is my very first one, but Mama Delilah made sure that I got a new copy because that one, as you could tell, was worn. So like every holy day, Friday, I'm here to do and share my, you know what I'm saying, chapter with you all and discuss, you know, things that jump out at me. And I welcome and invite anyone who's on the line to also, after hearing what was read, things that might have stood out with them, and we can open up a dialogue, if you will. But first things first, I usually do the prayer, but what I'm going to actually do, my grandson's sitting right beside me. I was getting ready to turban up my head. I said, you know what? Today, I'm going to show you how to wrap a proper turban as far as Muslim American women do. Okay, so now I take my fabric. Oh, let me stand up so you all can see what I'm doing. Hey, sis, I got to wave back. Hold on, let me do the wave thing. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I'm using this fabric. Oh, and I still got my tape measure on because I was just sewing, finishing because I am in the sew room. This is where I be doing the reeds at. Okay, so you're taking a nice piece of fabric. We're going to say, now if you're doing it by temple standards, then you got to talk to them people. I've been working with fabrics and I teach knot ties, so everything like that. But the ladies in the temple, when I first went there, they showed me how to do it. So you fold it over to one side and then you make it, you hold it so it's not even. So one side's a little longer than the other. Now you're going to put that on your head like so. All right, like so. And you're going to crisscross it in the back like so. I got to take my wrap off because it's causing me to have more bulk than necessary. Okay, so we're going to cross it up, crisscross it around the back like so. And it looked like I need to take my choker off too. So yeah. So again, we're going to wrap that around the forehead. Now I can sit down because I already pulled that up. Showed you the fold part. Now, I like to cover my ears. You don't have to, but I like to cover my ears. We're going to crisscross in the back, like so. Okay? Pull them around to the sides, and you're going to use your shoulder, your chin and your shoulder, or your jawline, to actually hold the piece down like so. And then you're going to work from your left side first. And you're going to fold that up like so, basically. And you're looking to make it a nice firm or decent crease. And we're going to wrap that around the forehead. Because you're looking to make sure that you get your point in the front. And then you're going to have actually a point in the back too. At least that's how they taught me how to do it in the temple. And because I've been working with fabric for a number of years, it wasn't hard for me to learn how to do it. Now I understand a lot of people who've asked me how to teach them how to wrap a proper turban or, you know, head wrap, stuff like that. They go, oh, I can't do it. One thing I will tell you is practice, practice, practice. Before I left that night, I was able to wrap my own turban. I was gifted the cherry red turban, which I still have to this day. But if you all are getting familiar with me, you know everything I make also has a turban to it. You know what? Why is this all twisted up like this? I got to start over, y'all. And I don't mind. You know that? I do not mind having to start over. Some people have a problem with having to start over. I do not. Okay, yeah, I need everything proper. Proper. And then I will get right into this read, honey. Yes, indeed. So again, like I said, you wrap it around. You get it on your forehead like so. And then you're going to make sure all your fabric's down and together. And yeah, there we go. There she is. And we're going to pull that down. You're going to hold it with your, like I said, under your shoulder and your jawline. And you're going to take and crease this area here. This part going to go across the face and up across your forehead. And I like to make sure that I get it all laying down or whatever. I twist mine, and so when I tuck it, I can actually get that little, well, that's how I'm doing it. I ain't gonna say how I get that little whatever, because you can call it what you will. And you take the other side. Now, some people can leave it like that. You can use it as, so when you're out and about, you could cover your face. So, yeah, when y'all had to go through that thing this past couple of years, us Muslims, we were already equipped with that. That's actually a part of our culture, to cover up the face. And I can see why you would do it in these days and times with all these cameras and stuff. But hell, when you on platforms like this, you showing your face. So, but when you in them stores and they all in your business and Homeland Security and all that, and just taking it, and that's because you're in the public, so nothing can be construed to be private. Well, turban up and veil your face, and guess what you got? That level of anonymity, if you will. So all right, so now I got my turban in place, and no, I'm not going to put any of my buttons in place right now, because I said, no, I'm not in, this is not a temple, and I'm not purporting to say that this is a temple meeting. It's not. This is just me as an active Muslim woman, active Moorish American, showing homage and honor to not only my illustrious prophet, but it's his illustrious institution that he founded for us. Now, did we do a good job in taking care of it? Well, you be the decision on that one. I'm not going to get into that right now, but I'm not going to be reading the 2 letters that's to be read before every meeting, but one day I will probably be sharing that. So now I'm going to stand up and I will do my prayer, which is you put your feet in a 45-degree angle, and you put 2 hands up on your right hand and 5 hands up on the other. And you can repeat after me if you like. But Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. So that's the only prayer I do, y'all. So now, I was working earlier here in the soul room, and I said then that I would be doing chapter 1. I'm going to do chapter 1. Why? Because the conversation that we were having at that time. So, hey. And in doing so, grandson, you see Nana's glasses? Oh, there they go. All right. So, we're going to get into chapter 1. This is the only chapter in the entire Holy Koran that does not have it breaking down in instructions by numbers. Okay? However, it is to be read in its entirety. So this is the entire lesson, because that's one thing about this Holy Koran. It is a lesson. And I'm going to share something with you real quick before I get into the chapter read. Okay, so in the inside cover, okay, on the front, it tells us what this is about. So this is a whole science situation. It gives you understanding what's going on. And it says the Holy Koran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. Then it has this sigil. I'm going to call it that. It's a sigil. It has this sigil on there. If you notice, mine's got a little bit of a water damage, but it has these entries. People call this, and you'll hear people say the Circle 7. I'm not one of those people to really say Circle 7, even though the prophet did say Circle 7 supposedly, but we know that the information has been tainted, or, so I don't know. But me just going on my common sense, that's not a circle. If it got openings, it's not a circle. But however, the Circle 7, or the 7 inside of this this situation here, and it has those 4 notches in there, everything. But right here, it tells us divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali. Because coming along the way, like someone that's close to me, they said it's not Thomas but Timothy. Okay, so or not Timothy but Thomas. So who knows? By the guiding of his father God, Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from his sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his father God, Allah. Okay, so we got that. Now, when you go inside, the very first inside the cover, it says what it says. Know thyself and Allah. the genealogy of Jesus. Life and works of Jesus in India, Europe, and Africa, in the land of Egypt. Yeah, it says that right there. And then, that's just a depiction of the noble prophet. Okay. Noble Drew Ali, the prophet and founder of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, to redeem people from their sinful ways. Okay, that's what it says there. All right. And then it gives us this portionment right here. Okay. And then we got this section right here. Okay. And it says, know thyself and thy Father God Allah. The genealogy of Jesus with 18 years of the events, life, works, and teachings in India, Europe, and Africa. These events occurred before he was 30 years of age. These secret lessons are for all those who love Jesus and desire to know about his life, works, and teachings. Dear reader, do not falsely use these lessons. They are for good, peace, and happiness for all those that love Jesus. Dear mothers, teach these lessons to your little ones that they may learn to love instead of hate. Dear fathers, by these lessons you can set your house in order and your children will learn to love instead of hate. Pardon self. The lessons of this pamphlet, and that's why I keep calling it a pamphlet, y'all, just so you know. The lessons of this pamphlet are not for sale, but for the sake of humanity, as I am a prophet, and the servant is worthy of his hire, you can receive this pamphlet at expense. The reason these lessons have not been known is because the Muslims of India, Egypt, and Palestine had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. And when the time appointed by Allah, they loosened the keys and freed these secrets. And for the first time in ages, have these secrets been delivered in the hands of the Muslims of America. All authority and rights of publishing of this pamphlet of 1927 by the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. So it says that right there, okay? Just so we know. And ever since then, you know, and just going in there, because the conversation earlier, someone that they were coming from out of Hawaii, okay, one of the ancient lands, and everything, and ancient peoples. And they were saying something about, you know, things are changing and everything's going to go back to matriarchal rule. And I was saying about how mothers, you know, we're the reason why everything's so crazy. But anyway, so that right there lets you know, because mothers was put first. You teach these to your young, you teach it to them so they may learn to love instead of hate. And when you say Jesus and, you know, all these types of things, people are still thinking about arm, leg, arm, head. You know, they're thinking about a body. They're not actually understanding the science. And we as Muslim Americans, we understand that Jesus means justice. But that's your own studies that you must get up on in order for you to comprehend what that actually is letting you know. Anyway, so let's get started on our first chapter, or on our chapter read. The nose is a running, y'all. Oh. Hey, something last night I didn't have no business lying, and yeah, all right. Chapter 1, the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet. Chapter 1, the creation and fall of man. Time never was when man was not. If life of man at any time began, a time would come when it would end. The thoughts of Allah cannot be circumscribed. No finite mind can comprehend things infinite. All finite things are subject unto change. All finite things will cease to be because there was a time when they were not. The bodies and the souls of men are finite things, and they will change, yea, Man himself is not the body, nor the soul. He is a spirit and a part of Allah. Creative fate gave to man, to spirit man, a soul, that he might function on the plane of soul. Gave him a body of flesh, that he might function on the plane of things made manifest. Why did creative fate give to spirit man a soul, that he might function on the plane of soul? Why did creative fate give to soul a body of flesh, that he might function on the plane of things that are made manifest? Hear now, ye cherubim and ye seraphim, ye angels and ye men. Hear now, O protoplasm and earth and plant and beast. Hear now, ye creeping things of earth, ye fish that swim, ye birds that fly. Hear now, ye winds that blow, ye thunders and ye lightnings of the sky. Hear now, ye spirits of the fires, of water, earth, and air. Hear now, O everything that is, or was, or evermore will be. For wisdom speaks from out the highest plane of spirit life. Man is a thought of Allah. All thoughts of Allah are infinite. They are not measured up by time, for the things that are concerned with time begin and end. The thoughts of Allah are the everlasting of the past unto the never-ending days to come. And so is man, the spirit man. But man, like every other thought of Allah, was but a seed that held within itself the potency of Allah. Just as the seed of any plant of earth holds deep within itself the attributes of every part of that especial plant, so spirit man, as seed of Allah, held deep within himself the attributes of every part of Allah. Now, seeds are perfect, yea, as perfect as the source from which they come, but they are not unfolded unto life made manifest. The child is as perfect as the mother is. So man, the seed, must be deeply planted in a soil that he might grow, unfold, as does the bud unfold to show the flower. The human seed that come forth from the heart of Allah was full ordained to be the Lord of the plane of soul and of the plane of things made manifest. So Allah, the husbandman of everything that is, threw forth this human seed unto the soil of soul. It grew apace, and man became a living soul, and he became the Lord of all the kingdom of the soul. Hark, now, let every creature hear. The plane of the soul is but the ether of the spirit plane vibrating not so fast, and in the slower rhythm of this plane, the essence of life are manifest. The perfumes and the odors, the true sensations and the all of love manifest. And these soul attributes became a body beautiful. A multitude of lessons man must learn upon the plane of soul, and here he tarries many ages until his lessons are all learned. Upon the boundary of the plane of soul, the ether began to vibrate slower still, And then the essence took on a final garb. The perfumes and the odors and the true sensations and the all of love were clothed in flesh, and man was clothed in flesh. Perfected man must pass through all the ways of life. And so a cardinal was full manifest, a nature that sprang forth from fleshy things. Without a foe, a soldier never knows his strength, and thought must be developed by the exercise of strength. And so, this carnal nature soon became a foe that man must fight, that he might be the strength of Allah made manifest. Let every living thing stand still and hear. Man is the Lord of all the plane of manifest, of podoplast, of minerals, of plant, of beast, but he gave up his birthright just to gratify his lower self. But man will regain his lost estate, his heritage, but he must do it in a conflict that cannot be told in words. Yea, he must suffer trials and temptations manyfold, but let him know that cherubim and seraphim that rule the stations of the sun, and spirit of the mighty Allah, who rule the solar stars, are his protectors and his guide, and they will lead to victory. Man will be fully saved, redeemed, perfected by the things he suffers on the plane of flesh and on the plane of soul. When man has conquered carnal things, his garb of flesh will then have served its purpose well, and it will will be no more. Then he will stand untrammeled on the plane of soul, where he must full complete his victories. Unnumbered foes will stand before man upon the plane of soul. These he must overcome, yea, overcome them every one. Thus, hope will ever be his beacon light. There is no failure for the human soul, for Allah is leading on, and victory is sure. Man cannot die. The spirit man is one with Allah. And while Allah lives, man cannot die. When man has conquered every foe upon the plane of soul, the seed will have full opened out, will have unfolded in the holy breath. The garb of soul will then have served its purpose well, and man will need it nevermore, and it will pass and be no more, and man will then attain unto the blessedness of perfectness and at one with Allah. Islam, y'all. Woo! I love reading chapter 1. Y'all don't even know. I do. That's why I ain't went nowhere. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you say about us out here in these streets. Forget that. I ain't gonna say us. I'm gonna say me. I don't care. I don't care what you say. I really could care less, because in all reality, you got to say these things. I got to learn. I got to have all these different, you know what I'm saying, worthy, opponents and whatnot. But this chapter 1, y'all, ooh, y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know. It helped, and it addressed so many things. Now, it took a minute for me to get past the whole Allah thing and whatnot. And with the whole situation, with the Moorish Divine movement, with the whole Jesus means justice, and just talking about Jesus, and, coming from my background, not coming up in the church or anything like that, or dealing with that business. I didn't. Come on in. However, because I've always had a relationship, which we all do. We all have a relationship with that which created us. We all do. Every last one of us. Now, how it manifests and play out, hey, that's on you. That's how it works. And I'm not here to browbeat anybody, get you to believe how I believe. It's not even a belief for me. I know this. I'm living life. I am. What other name do we give to truth?
Holy breath.
What is it?
Holy breath.
Holy breath. What other name do we give to truth? See, as Muslim Americans, we got 102, i.e. when it was the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, it was 102 questions. But by the time it became the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, we got 101 questions. And it asks you, and there was a time that I knew my number, my questions, and my answers. I know a lot of my questions and answers. I just got to get back on my due diligence so I can be able to, because this is administrative process here. These 101 questions, this is administrative process here in this type of society, this type of world that we have to find ourselves interacting with. But it is, I should have known that. I already know that number 49, well, can truth change? No. What other name? Let's say, oh, number 50. What other name do we give the truth? Holy breath. Come on, move. No. So, that is true for your behind. You ain't going to tell me that you don't need to breathe. You may not call yourself a Moor. You may not call yourself a Origine. You may not call yourself a mother or a woman. But what you must understand is that you can't do any of that deceiving yourself without that holy breath, baby. That truth right there. And with simple things like that, that's simplicity right there. To just know that you don't make your heart beat all the time, but faithfully it is doing it. The members of your whole temple are faithful to you. But because man, and because I study my science, man means mind. Okay? Just so you know. I'm sharing that with you all today. Man means mind. So when you hear the word man, don't be like, and women too. That madness. We ain't got to do all that. You included, boo-boo. You a part of this. However, I understand we all in different places and, we going to respond in different ways. But nonetheless, this is all of us. This is every last one of us. The creation and fall of man. Creation and fall of mind. Okay, so what is it that your mind is on? Now, these days, a lot of people are talking about, the awakening, stay woke, namaste, chakra building, cleanse your body out, and all these types of things. And all of those things may be worthy, noble, causes or what have you. Me personally, yes, I acknowledge proper food combining. I understand that we're supposed to be plant eaters, not indulging in things that bleed. That kingdom is not for us to consume. That's not how our bodies was designed. We need to drink more than we eat type situation. But, here we are now. We're in a different era of time in evolution, if you will. And we going through all these different ages. That's why, all this, it's the end of the world and all that stuff, baby. Even when I wasn't a part of the know, in the know, okay, into the know, this little pamphlet, y'all. Now, I want to say that you get it from off of Amazon. Don't do that. Don't get it from off of Amazon. Baby, make your way to a temple, at least, and see if they will allow you to procure one for studying purposes only. They ought to, because you understand who created this, who divinely prepared this. It was the prophet. And for anybody that's operating the temple and tell you can't have one, see, well, prophet already let it be known. Justice will catch you as well. But anyway, my grandson's sitting here looking at the the questionnaire and how thin that is, and it holds 101 questions, and also our divine constitution and bylaws, okay, or as it says, not so thin. It is additional laws for the Moorish Americans, okay? And it's basically, it lets it be known about our divine constitution and bylaws, and there's just a few things that's changed over a little bit in this one, but we have a divine constitution when we're affiliated with the temple. But here at the post, we definitely have our constitution hanging. There was a time that the people considered me a grand sheik. They chose me to be that. I didn't champion or I didn't jockey for the position or anything like that. They just did that because they knew that I was active in this movement about standing on my square, handing my administrative position and stuff like that. But I didn't hold it like a lot of people that's in these organizations hold it and gatekeep and stuff like it. It wasn't like that for me. I actually was honored that people see me in that way, that Allah see me in that way, because we are all manifestations of that which is the Most High. You may not like the word Allah. You might like to use the word God. I myself don't like to use the word God because when I read that first in a dictionary, it said Austrian male. So that didn't make sense to me. So I say things like the Most High or that which is. I say it like that because to really sit here and say that you can actually say what it is that got us all moving, I already know that you're a scammer or you're a BS artist. Real talk. I'm going to just keep it like that. That's how I feel. But in this science, because it's called the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. See, this is a science. This is the Holy Temple. Okay? This is the, you know what I'm saying, the 7. Especially right up in here. Let's see what the 7 is. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we start talking about Jesus and Christ and all that. That's all up in this the region here. And it does traverse down south and, you know, come back up, prodigal son. And yeah, there's a lot with this science. It really is. But you got to be open to it. And, you know, you may not be in that part of the journey yet. You know, you may not even be in that particular age yet. So that's another reason why I don't get on here on Fridays and trying to browbeat nobody and get them to knowing and and to believe. No, I don't believe anything either. I know a thing or I don't. I'm too old to be a believer. Come here, baby. Belief is for the young, okay? And we need to give them something that they can believe in. All right? So when they get older and start practicing discernment, may we have always given them the truth as we have been delivered it, and not try to hide it. Because as it said in the forward that I had read, if you can call it a forward, you know what I'm saying? The reason why these lessons have not been known is because the Muslims of India, Egypt, and Palestine had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. And when the time appointed by Allah, they loosened up the keys and freed those secrets. And for the first time in ages, so it's not like it ain't never been here, Great Spirit. It's not like it ain't never been here. Autochthonous American, autochthonous being tied to the land. Land is just that. You ain't got to give it no name. Northwest of Maxim, House of Rising Sun, Alkebalon, Pangea. It's still just land. And you are a product of it. Okay? However, first time in ages have these secrets been delivered into the hands of the Muslims of America. So it's been delivered to me, yo. It's been brought to me. The prophet was supposedly purported to say, you know, this is for the young and yet unborn. The brother was born in 1886, if I am to believe. See, I don't like to believe anything. But if I was to accept, and I have accepted, that he was born in 1886. Now, where? Researchers said it wasn't in so-called North Carolina. It was in Virginia. But I'm saying, okay, in that area and time, where do things even call that? So much stuff getting muddied along the way, you know. But Noble Drew Ali is who we're talking about, because I know he did walk. You can find you on microfilm, you know, not from our press only, but from the press from those nations who occupy our land. They wrote about the prophet and things like that. So I don't have to dispute whether that brother walked the earth. But I know Walter Williams did a whole a book on there has never been a man that ever walked the earth in any race, creed, or color by the name of Jesus Christ. He did that. And there's a big debate about that all over the place. Well, there's no letter J and it didn't come about until, and that whole thing. So we're not here to do that. However, I'm going to sit here and accept this information that's giving me information about me. Because remember what the inside cover was about. Know thyself and Allah. Well, you are spirit man encased in a law. Arm, leg, arm, head. Well, I don't mean that if you overseas in other cultures. Well, I'm going on my understanding that I've been given by my Most High. How about that? That's what I'm standing on. There you go. And I know it housed that which created not only just me, but all that I am able to perceive. That would be myself. That be this little boy standing beside me. That means this, you know what I'm saying, firmament that's out in front of me. Okay. And then there's this whole functionality to how it makes and manifests. So let's go back into the chapter now. I could, and see with this one, as I said, this is the only chapter that is not numbered like the other chapters. Okay. However, me being me, Libra, Sag. So therefore, I carry them scales. And I'm about that justice. That's why I'm an L, not a Bay, if you ask me. I did number mine. I did. I don't know if you all can catch them numbers in there. But I did. I numbered mine. I sure did. And it came out to the last one. The last one was 61. And guess what? 6 and 1 makes what? A 7. That kind of science, baby. I ain't going to act like I don't notice that stuff. And what's number 61? The 7. And it will pass and be no more, and man will then attain unto the blessedness of perfectness and at one with Allah. Hey, that's a 758. Anywho, so I'm going to come back to using this one since I got all my highlights in this. And like I said, Mama Delilah had made sure that I got me a new copy, because this one I have to preserve big time because it houses my son's intellectual property, his well-being, his being here, because there's no birth certificate issued on him. I never signed an application. So if they committed a fraud, well, it's all fraud. So if they decided to go and do the fraud using the information from a pediatrician, then that's what they did. But I never filled out any type of form. I am in my proper person. They know I'm in my proper person. I've been in my proper person for years before I even had him. You know, and by the time I went to that little military outpost known as a hospital for the services, because we don't have our own anymore, but yet we are the largest so-called economic factor here on the American land, utilizing their currency. So that means we do have the abilities to have our own medical facilities and our own education institutions and everything. And the prophet had already let it be known. It takes finances to uplift a nation. Why do you think they're already infiltrating your mind all the time? Trying to get you not to look at your nationality, but everybody else is a national on the planet. But you, black man, black woman, you not a nationality. You awarded a state and treated as such. But that's your plight. And I ain't mad at you and I ain't judging you, but don't come for me, baby. Do not. Do not. Because I ain't going to do nothing but hurt your feelings and make you mad. And I ain't got enough haters, I guess. So you're going to be a hater then. Anyway. So like I said, I'm going to use mine. So I got number 1 written down, that very first top one. Time never was when man was not. So mine has always been. Mine has always been. Ain't no getting around that. But let me go over here to what I call number 30. A multitude of lessons man must learn upon the plane of soul. And here he tarries many ages until his lessons are all learned. Well, the soul is cased in the flesh here. So if that ain't giving you the science of reincarnation, I don't know what does. People are like, that's just the Aquarian gospel. And yeah, still, it's information that was divinely prepared. You know, he was able to grab some information that's going to be potent for us to overstand, to get this, so we can live and operate on those 5 highest principles known to man. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. You see my flags flying. Yes, the Moroccan flag, the Moorish American supports, or that is our flag. It's over 50,000 years old. However, in the 101s, it'll tell you it's only 10,000 years old. It doesn't matter. Still, be it 50 or 10, still the world's oldest flying flag. Now, well, that's the flag of Morocco. Okay, well, you're talking about the kingdom. Just do your research and find out when they got that. And then look up the noble prophets sitting in the 20s holding both the banner and our flag that he had to get from out the vault. The cherry tree that was chopped down. Yeah, that part. So there's just so much about our experiences here. And so yes, I do proudly fly them, and that's how it should be. Okay, so all our lessons learned. I had taught my oldest son, you don't pledge allegiance to a damn thing that's helping or destroying you. I didn't realize he wasn't doing it until the man that was a gym teacher or science teacher or whatever the hell he was calling me with the whole, well, I feel he and I feel. I don't give a damn about how you feel, really. I don't. I shouldn't have to. And not to mention the fact that you say, a pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Whatever. Anyway. But that right there, those 5 highest principles known to man, that's what that 5-point star in the center of it, the pentacle. It represents us. If we stand, we are, because I'm going to show y'all these sciences now from my point of overstanding. I'm going to show you these principles now. 5-point star. You know, in these days and times, people like calling themselves star child and star seeds and all that type of stuff. I ain't knocking any of it. I've been there before y'all was even thinking about it. My oldest is 27, baby. And he the reason why I know about stones and stone magic. He got me on that before he was a year and a half. Once he started walking, when we got to walking, he was picking up rocks and handing them to me, and I put them in my pocket. And there was an incident when we went to the little watch store to get a watch fixed, and the man went down there and grabbed a bag full of stones. Came to me and was like, "Can he have these?" I'm like, "Sure." You know, and then that's when I started studying. So we're going to say that was over 25 years ago. Acknowledging the, you know what I'm saying, the Most High and being with spirit, working with the unknown. That's always been how I know. Guess what I could do? Guess what I've been doing? I know how to shut the hell up. And if that means I can listen. Then I'm born in the year of the ox. So that means I know how to what? I'm slow to speech. But because I'm Libra, of course, I can talk. But I also have the discipline to know how to be quiet. I practice discernment. That's why I haven't been on these platforms like that. I didn't have to get out here all like that. I just now got on this stuff. Everybody was saying, ain't nobody on that no more. Ain't nobody on that no more. That's okay. I am. I'm here. Why? Because it's my time. It's my time to be on here. And everything. So, let's go down to 35 as I got it numbered out. Perfected man must pass through all the ways of life. Every man on planet or every nation on planet has suffered some type of enslavement. And I am not a descendant of slaves. I am not a Slovakian. I'm not a descendant from Slovakians, and that's what that means. But enslavement is something totally different. The fact that you're in this thing here, yeah. Every man has suffered enslavement. So And so a cardinal was full manifest, a nature that sprang forth from fleshy things. So there you go. The ills, the L's, the bad acting or the well, they're all beneficial because we all came here to, if you ask me, collect information and data. And then we off. You know what I'm saying? We're not the flesh or any of these things, you know. However, we got to play our part because this is what we chose to be in for whatever purpose. And hopefully for the purpose that you get the experience in your own physical, mental consciousness is to enjoy bliss and favor, in joy and happiness. I'm not saying you're going to avoid the lessons, you know what I'm saying? The facts would go to number 38. Without a foe, a soldier never knows its strength. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta know you're going to be tried. All these people that's out here talking about learning how to correct your status and the paperwork and all these different things. If you're going to really sit here and study these things, do know you're going to be what? You're going to be challenged. You're supposed to be. You should be happy when things happen. When you see the party lights going on behind you, like, oh, I get my chance to practice. I get a chance to see if that which I've studied, one, am I, you know what I'm saying, am I one with it? Did I know what it was that I was taking in? Or am I operating from a chip on my shoulder? And if I'm operating from the chip on my shoulder, well, we're going to go back to the beginning of this one right here when it says, dear mothers, teach these lessons to your little ones that they may learn to love instead of hate. And then it also said, no, because you can't have just single parent homes and single mother homes and da-da-da-da. It said, dear fathers, by these lessons, you can set your house in order and your children will learn to love instead of hate. Wow. So then, when you see the party lights going on behind you, and you out here studying these things, it's supposed to be that way. You should be celebrating. Now, I understand. We've been under this program for quite some time, and we see those them party lights. I call them party lights, y'all. But you see those emergency safety lights. That's what they are. The emergency safety lights. When you see them, there's a knot to get in the stomach, butterflies. At least if you look like me, okay. If you carry this beautiful hue that I have to carry this time around, then we might get a little nervous and all these types of things, and anxiety sets in. Especially if we are studying, but we've been under the program for so long that legal things are lawful things, and that's not always the case. Legal and lawful are two different things, okay? And law trumps legal all day long. Legal usually requires that there's some type of contract in place. However, with that being said, those lights come up behind you, guess what? It's your opportunity to exercise. And what does it say about that? So, without a foe, and we all feel like the policy enforcers out here now, you might call them police officers. They're not. They're just not. Not on the American land. However, policy enforcers are, at this point in time, worthy foes. They are. They're worthy foes. They are the ones that's giving you the opportunity to exercise. Exercise. It says, and through and thought must be developed by the exercise of strength. So you can't exercise it without being challenged. And out here trying to buy packets, all that kind of stuff, well, that's going to have to be a lesson you got to learn. I ain't bought no packets in my journey thus far. And I appreciate a lot of the young scholars that's my age, because young brother, he looks very young, but so do I. But the brother, Asir the Duke of Tears, worth it. If you got to invest in that way and that brother's willing to walk with you and you do diligence with it, then you going to be straight. You are. But I'm not fitting to buy a packet. I'm not fitting to, well, one, because I'm not really a big user of the Federal Reserve note. I use it very, very sparingly because the grocery store is not going to trade for my goods and services. You know what I'm saying? And that's really where it's at. Everything else, I'm pretty much attempting Islam to trade with my people, trade with people that I come across. And it's been working for me for at least a decade plus. Okay. But it's very rare that I'm going to be put in a position where I'm like, yeah, you got to have money. And I'm talking about the Federal Reserve note. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let it be known what it is. The Federal Reserve note is a debt instrument. And it is unlawful, or should I say even illegal, for me to be even using it, according to their policy or statute, if that's what you wish to call it. That would be their title 12, United States Code 411. Just read that one all the way to the very first period, and there you go. However, under threat, duress, or coercion, we find ourselves in these positions. But it's because, once again, as I said, I got mines numbered out, and it says very clearly, without a foe, a soldier never knows his strength, and thought must be developed by the exercise of strength. So if you're out here studying these things, the right to travel, like dealing with the utility companies, that's my battle right now. Dealing with the so-called school system and your progenies, meaning your sons and your daughters. I'm not going to call my sons and daughters kids because they're not animals. Bears give birth to cubs. Dogs give, let's say bitches give birth to puppies. Goats give birth to kids. My sons and daughters are not animals, but that's once again the lower self. The lower self we learn about in here, but it comes from out of here. What is the lower self breed? Hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harm. Yeah. I learned a lesson. I learned that. And so therefore, I'm not going to use that. But guess what? I knew that before I came into this movement. Because I was given a Bible at the age of 22. And I opened it up, and the very first thing I read was Psalms 23. I didn't know it was the big one for people that's in that walk and everything. I didn't know that, but I know it was very impactful on me. How much I know? Because I changed the way I speak. And I don't use that word because it told me, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And I don't. I don't have a want, and I don't confuse a want, the perception of lack, for a need, like, and desire. Okay? I mean, I got somebody here that I got to do the next generation. Grandson? Are you allowed to use that word?
No.
Do I bring you up to use that word?
No.
But do all the other adults around you use that word?
Yes.
See? That's the uphill battle. That's my Atlas moment. Pushing that boulder up the hill. But that's okay. I'm built for this. Because it says, again, the development by the exercise of strength. So my thoughts was being worked on then, but it was also being worked on when I was little, because I could sit back and look around. And I can't ask those people that's doing all these strange things what's really going on. I can't ask them because they're doing it. So there was a time that Allah loosed those keys and put it in the hands of the Muslim in America so I can know. And now that I know, you think I'm going to hide it from them? Boy, bye. Girl, bye. I don't care how about you feel. You on some low frequency anyway. Why would I worry about you and what you think and what you feel? I recognize where you at on the path, on the journey. I'm not judging you. I'm not. Why would I? It's all energy, baby. It's a beautiful play, and a lot of trauma is here. This is true. I'm not going to act like it's not. I have my own traumas with my daughter. It hurts my soul. It does. But, thank you, Most High, for allowing me to have the mindset that I have. I know she knows that I love her, and she knows, and I know that she loves me, because she's energy. We're all energy. We are all from love. It's just that how it's being displayed, and a lot of times we just can't understand it. And if you can have that relationship with the Most High, I say the Most High. I don't say Allah all the time, and there's a real specific reason why I don't use that all the time. And if you get to know of me intimately, you'll find out why I don't use it like that. But I say the Most High, or that which is, because that's more suitable for me because, again, I'm unable to attempt to put a gender on it. That makes no sense. And I'm not going to put it into, well, as it says in the beginning of chapter 1, like it said right here. No finite, that would be number 4. No finite mind can comprehend things infinite. That part. So, knowing that I'm in this flesh, okay, and while I'm in this flesh, it's finite, okay? I have aspects and qualities of infinite. Y'all gotta excuse me. I keep taking my deep breaths, which I can do. However, that's that infinite right there. That now it may cease to happen in this vessel, but that which makes that be the case is infinite. That's a science. That's an understanding right there. You know, in chapter 1 allows me to open up and explore these things, and it gives you so many different directions that one can go study in. Okay. So let's take number 17. All right. Number 17, as I got it written out, but in the text it would be, man is a thought of Allah. Mind is a thought of the body. Okay. All thoughts of Allah are infinite. They are not measured up by time. For the things that are concerned with time begin and end. It's that simple. Oh, well, you know, the wars in 7-Eleven and we did a woo woo woo, ha 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 ha, and all these things. Okay, and they are all accurate. Okay. However, we are here now. Okay. And a lot of us will not acknowledge that we're more. Okay, we won't acknowledge, oh, well, that's a European word, and not understanding that you are the child of Europa. You know, we keep giving those who are actually trading places with us positions that they didn't earn, and for whatever reason that's been in play. And I say the reason is many lessons we got to learn. That's it. So I don't allow myself to be divided because of what a person look like. It's how you treat yourself, how you treat me, how I watch you treat others. So when you out here and you studying like you studying, I'm not attempting to separate anyone. Okay, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here coming on this on my live on Holy Day, Friday, and Friday is Holy Day for all Muslims all over the world. Why? Because Friday was the day on which man was formed in flesh, and it was on Friday when he departed out of flesh. That is one of our questions out of our questionnaire. Okay? And it's a whole science. All of this is a science. One needs to know. You need to know yourself. In order for you to be anything in this world, that was what the ancients told you back then. Know thyself. In order for you to become an architect, or a mathematic progeny, or an artist, or a poet, or a mason, or a carpenter, or a blacksmith, or a councilman, anything that makes you a functioning part of society. In order for you to get there, you would hope, you would think, you would do it after the many years of studying thyself. And the very first thing, I don't have my natal chart right beside me. That's something that I usually have beside me because I'll reference to it. You have your natal chart there. Why would I bring up the natal chart in this? Well, it did say in chapter 1. Come in. It speak about the cherubims and the seraphims. Okay. Here we go. That would be chapter 40. I mean, that'd be position 48. I'm running out of my time. So I'm glad I was able to get this much up. But it did say the cherubim and seraphim, but let him know that the cherubim and seraphims that rule the stations of the sun and the spirit of the mighty Allah who rules the solar stars are his protectors and his guides, and they will lead to victory. Islam. That's what it is right there. So I know that the natal chart is important. Peace and love, y'all. Hopefully I gave you something to consider. Wholeness.